Well everyone, it appears we have some new images that have come to light of GM possibly already testing out their hybrid version of the Corvette C8 that we have all been hearing about. Corvette Blogger has been following it closely and provided us with some great details on this. Now, I do want to take a moment to say that while we do have photo evidence that helps support these theories, this is still all just speculation until we're told by GM that the car is coming. But remember, many people were so quick to write off the early rumors of a mid-engine Corvette even being built, and they were completely wrong. So while I say take this information with a grain of salt, it will provide you with some very interesting information about the possible future of the Corvette C8. Anyways, by now we are all aware that the Z06 variant of the mid-engine Corvette should be coming within the next 12 to 18 months. But the really fascinating version of this car is that we will be possibly receiving a hybrid motor design. If you're not yet familiar with this, some very connected people within the Corvette community have learned that Chevrolet is going to use their newly redesigned mid-engine based Corvette to compete with the highest of level supercars. In doing that, we believe that they've decided to go the way of the hybrid design, much like the Porsche 918, and I would think that I don't have to tell you how absurdly quick and fast that car is. The hybrid design would allow Chevrolet to incorporate motors in a brand new all-wheel drive system to help give instantaneous torque off of the line, then couple that with a very powerful combustion engine. Supposedly, the goal is to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 horsepower. But with that information being incredible and all, we've had little indication of this theory other than the leaks that have come from different sources. That seems to have all changed. We now have some new images that show a new prototype that is being tested on some public roads. At first glance, it would appear to be just a camo prototype that we've been seeing many times over, but there is a distinct difference in this prototype. I will throw up these images now. I do want to give a huge shout out to the Instagram user who's provided these to the online forum. I have tagged his Instagram account in all of these photos and you should see that. So what you will notice from these photos is several new electrical junction boxes that we've not seen yet before. Some of these boxes are familiar and we have seen the blue cable that connects to the main power kill switch on each of the test mules. But this brings us to the question of why they would be further testing these early stage camo cars, as they have shown us that testing the full production ready cars is already happening. I would understand that they want to continually test for longer term use stats, but Tadge has already indicated that they've made changes from these earlier mules, so it wouldn't make a lot of sense to continue testing them as they wouldn't reflect the updates Chevrolet has made for the production ready C8s. It would only make sense if they are using different models that they have. What would make sense is if these are different models that they are testing and they're attempting to keep this under wraps going forward, which does make a lot of sense and stays in line with what they would do for all of their new models. Back in September, we saw a pack of prototypes that were doing testing in Colorado at over 10,000 feet. And they were still in full camo, which was odd as the car had already been unveiled for over a month at that point. You could easily see a 12-volt battery connector that poured out of the front panels of the car towards the front trunk. Another thing we can deduce from these photos is that they are in fact early model prototypes, as they have the same prototype headlight design that we saw on the earlier base C8 builds. It really all does provide us with a great deal of insight on what may be coming, and I find it interesting that we continue to see these prototypes around. The news has even caught the eye of GM already, and they've quickly denied these prototypes as being any type of hybrid model. However, to that I say, of course GM is going to deny this car. As mentioned before, they completely denied the C8 Corvette until it was unveiled in July. I mean, I had a gentleman that worked at my local Chevrolet dealership outright tell me that he had never heard of a mid-engine Corvette being in the works just a few months before it came out. My guess is that he was supposed to use that line from management and not that he was the most incompetent Chevrolet employee in the world. So here I leave you all with the evidence that we have so far. The Corvette is now a mid-engine sports car, and it would seem that the future of this car has a substantial amount of potential to be seen. As always, my viewers, let me know what you think. It is amazing and incredible the amount of feedback and information I receive from you all. Even for those of you not interested in the Corvette, or maybe you just don't want to see a hybrid version of it, let me know your comments below. I did want to follow up today's video over the hybrid with another very interesting theory: the possibility of a Corvette SUV. This one, I will say, is completely over the top, and I'm not really speculating it as much as I'm sharing with you some of the design renderings that we've seen posted online so far. The first thing that came to my mind was the Lamborghini Urus, and that isn't a bad thing at all. I wouldn't say it completely copies the Lamborghini, just that it certainly has the aggressive yet well put together look to it. The luxury SUV market makes a lot of sense for many companies, as it has seen heavy growth over the past decade. We even know that with the release of the Urus by Lamborghini, it has sparked Ferrari to work on their brand new SUV. In addition, Ford has even begun works on designing a Mustang-inspired SUV that's completely electric. Tons of other manufacturers have brought new SUVs to the market, and financially, it's been a really smart play for most of them. So it would lead us to believe that if Chevrolet is having so much success with their newly decided C8, then they very well may spill over to the inspired SUV. A quick search of comments online shows a large amount of support for the Corvette SUV, and I for one would be thoroughly interested to see it be built. My hope is that they do break the mold and name it the CUV, for Corvette Utility Vehicle. Okay, I'll stop there. Regardless of how you feel about the Corvette C8, it seems that it has opened many doors for GM. With the strike over and the plant back up and running, production for the C8 Corvette should start fairly soon. Now, I do have yet to hear any further news on the status of my Corvette C8, but you can rest assured knowing that I will share every detail of the buying process with you all. From what I know, my delivery date is still set for the end of February or early March. And with all of the incredible reviews that have come out from the different review publication companies, I can hardly wait. It would seem that as far as we can tell, the C8 is for the most part living up to the incredibly high pedestal it has been put on. Less the mediocre brakes and the understeer, the reviews have been great on the first stab at a mid-engine Corvette. I've read that the C8 exhaust is a bit underwhelming, but luckily it seems that should be an easy fix. Anyone familiar with the ownership of my Audi R8 knows the annoying fact that swapping out the exhaust requires a huge amount of labor in addition to the premium cost of the exhausts. For reference, I've been quoted almost $7,000 for a FabSpeed exhaust with installation, a number that I find truly ridiculous, even taking into account the fact that it's an exotic car. With that being said, I have checked out the exhaust system on the Corvette C8, and instead of running behind the car, it still runs under like the previous generations, so labor should be cut down dramatically. And that's very exciting, as the new exhaust install will be one of the first on my list of upgrades for my Corvette C8. Thank you all so much for checking out my video today. If you enjoyed the video or just found it interesting, think about supporting my channel and hitting that like button. If you are new to the channel and want to join me on my journey of taking delivery of my Corvette C8, as well as all of the fun future plans I have with it, then join our community by clicking that subscribe button at the bottom of the video. I do just want to say thank you to all of my loyal subscribers out there. Your support has been more than I ever expected, and I know that you will love the content that I have lined up for 2020. You also may notice that I have merchandise under the videos now. I have no intention of spamming you with buying my merchandise. The only reason I did it is I had some comments asking if I do sell any of the merchandise that a lot of people have seen in some of my videos. I wear it a lot of times for my different vlogs. So I decided that I would add it below. If you are interested, check it out. If not, no worries at all. As always, you all take care, and I'll see you next video.